So I've got a few quotes in here that mean something to us. And in most people's vocabularies, design means veneer. It's the interior decorating. It's the fabric of the curtains of the sofa. But to me, nothing could be further from the meaning of design. Design is a fundamental soul of the human-made creation that ends up expressing itself in the successive outer layers of the product or service. And that's from Steve Jobs. And I think that means, as a designer, quite a bit as to how did they create the world's most valuable company? How did they really rise from the ashes? My own words I wrote in 1985 that it's not how you feel about the design, it's how it makes you feel about yourself. So from the early days, my days go back into Park Xerox and developing the first touchscreen interface. We've always been focused on the emotion, how people feel about themselves, really what's going on. So this has been an underpinning since 1985. So today I'd like to talk about what we do, how we do it, and why we do it. So first off, what do? We provide a variety of services. We start with research. We provide translating the research actually into strategies and creative immersion sessions, stakeholder alignments. We provide, of course, design. We feel at a very high level. That's user interface, user experience, GUI, industrial design, packaging. We have a full prototype lab on premises, so we have 2 CNCs. We do quite a bit of rapid prototyping and testing and development. And we provide engineering services, not at the level of Tom or Joel. We actually look to collaborate on much deeper levels than that, but at a level sufficient to create designs and carry things forward into production and to execute some of the lighter programs. And we do branding and strategy, branding and graphics. And in this case, we're just showing an example of a line of chocolates that were just launched, and when we did all of the branding and the packaging. So communication, branding is a part of it. Just a few of our clients that you may recognize. For Unilever, we did global research for many years and innovated ways to save time, energy, and water. For Intel, we innovate business ventures from the ground up. We go do the research and find markets and then develop proposals and business plans for new ventures. For Pepsi, we looked at point-of-sale systems for the contested markets in China and India. Hamilton Medical, which I've brought the case study on. Life Technologies, we did their global design language, which I'll show a bit on. Hydration Technologies, I'll show a little bit on. That's a hydration bag for disaster relief. We win quite a few awards. We won 20 in 2011 and 7 so far this year. So we're getting quite a bit of recognition for what we do. And some of the things that we've done that we'll show is for Life Technologies. I mentioned the new global design language for Life Technologies. We started with deep ethnography, shadowing, understanding who the audience was, and I'll show a glimpse of the strategy dashboard of how we analyze the market. This is the $1,000 DNA device. So this does a genome by the end of the end of this year, it will do a genome in 2 hours for $1,000. It's a $150,000 device. This is the Hamilton Medical, their ventilator, transport ventilator. For Core Water, we developed a complete line of carryable water bottles to displace the disposable water bottle that we're all using today. For Unilever, we've done a multitude of programs. This is just one example of providing vitamins and wellness through detergents and what that actually looks like. Originally for Discus and now owned by Denmat, we did their composite syringes for dental applications. So we studied deeply and understood what it's like to be a dental assistant, the pressure to be able to dispense this type of material very quickly. It's a very expensive material, and how to create a breakthrough product with a very, very low cost of goods. Other products, this is Onto Audio. This is a new home theater system that comes in 3 boxes, sets up in 10 minutes, has a DVD player and a full sound system, so you don't need to wire your house to get high quality sound. Great innovation by the head of Apple's Audio Lab, who did all of the audio in all of the iPhones and Apple technology. I mentioned Hydration Technologies. We've been working with them and a counterpart design firm to really take a technology that is not being adopted rapidly enough. And what Hydration Technologies makes is a cellulose bag filled with electrolytes, sugar, vitamins, and some flavoring. And when you drop that into water, it inflates through osmosis. So you can actually drop this bag into salt water, you can actually drop this bag into sewage. And it will self-inflate, and through the osmosis process and through the cellulose fiber, it strips away all the bacteria, all the viruses, and makes a perfectly drinkable product. So what you see here is that actually you can drop 15 helicopter loads in one single helicopter with this type of product. So our whole approach is to understand how people use it, how will they intuitively know what to do, and how can you drop it from a helicopter and so people can retrieve it and gain access to it, because water is the real challenge in disaster situations. We can go for about a month without food, but only about 3 days without water. We have our own line of products that we sell through Fender, which are all guitar hangers and guitar accessories. We actually manufacture these in China, so we know what kind of grief is involved in manufacturing. For the Red Cross, we developed a pro bono app, again for disaster relief situations, but actually to help identify yourself that you're well, how families connect, that through social networking, to use the system so someone can quickly send a text and say, hey, I'm okay, hey, I need help, how you can support a disaster situation, how you can be better prepared. New product that is launching is Wikipad, which is a high-speed tablet, and it plugs into a controller that allows you to play games with your tablet so that you actually have it in front of you and you can control it like no other product. And you see here the user, the UX for the on-screen, you see the packaging, you see the product. It's really a comprehensive design program. Speaking of products for the blind, this is LevelStar. This is a smartphone for the blind that we designed and developed. So that's a interactive braille display, or an active braille display. So if you're doing GPS, the braille will actually scroll by and help you. Tremendous product. So of course it has a reader. Take a photograph, it'll read it. It'll play your music. You can answer your phones. It really enables the blind person to do everything that you would on a regular phone. This is a DNA serum delivery system. So on the handheld device on the right, actually has shielded in the upper left in the disposable 5 needles. You press that, they're shielded, you never get to see them. You push that intermuscular, you pull the trigger, and then we developed a robotic system that actually delivers the syringe through the center, delivers the serum, retracts, and then goes through the electroporation process to deliver the serum. So tremendous, tremendous product. In the music business, we've done some interesting things. This is Line 6's power PA system that's the first intelligent network-aware system. So a big challenge for musicians is that if I'm a person who plays a small club, I need a speaker. If my associate Ben does the same thing, he needs a speaker. When we want to play together, we have to go buy another system. Well, now, basically, you could put our two next to each other, plug them in any order you want, and it'll go into stereo mode, and you can play. If you turn it on its side, it'll go into stage monitor mode. If you line a series of them up, you can play a full auditorium, and you can tie into a whole interface system. So really understanding what happens. And then the last one I'm showing is that we actually developed a line of electric guitars ourselves a decade ago called RKS Guitars, and you see Ron Wood on stage playing one of our electric guitars that we were crazy enough and bold enough to actually think that we could go into the guitar business, and we actually created a company, and we incubated a company that sold about 2,000 guitars to some major players and are still very sought after. So we actually incubated and built a complete manufacturing facility. Raw wood would come in the back, finished guitars would go out the front. So that's a little bit about what we do. The real question, of course, is how do we do it? So we have this diverse portfolio of work. How do we do it? We have 4 lenses that we look at. So you see an overview is that we're always looking at people as the center of our universe. We're looking at the brand, we're looking at the offering, and we're looking at the business model. So we're looking at those 4 lenses, and then we have discovery, creation, execution, which is driven by that underpinning which now evolved. So we used to say it's not how you feel about the design, but now we've evolved to it's not how you feel about the design or the experience, it's how it makes you feel about yourself. And I'm going to show a little bit more about what the yield is. The yield is the experience. So everything is about creating this experience. So I'm going to show a little bit more about why you see that circle and what it means and where that came from. So what we did was we analyzed and we read and we adopted Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey. So for those of you who don't know, Joseph Campbell, mid-century, wrote the story of the hero's journey. Incredible scholar, world traveler, and incredible author and brilliant person. And he found the universal truth that in all cultures, there is a universal truth of the hero, the story of the hero. That someone has a call from they're an ordinary person, they have a call, they refuse the call, they have the challenge, they finally accept it, they have a mentor, they go through a process, they're challenged, they're tested, and eventually they could die and be reborn, or something happens to where they conquer the challenge and they return with either the safety for the village, the chalice, something positive, and they are then acclaimed the hero. So what we did was translate the hero's journey, understanding that everyone in life wants this same journey. That we all want to take away something from today, either from Tom's learning or Joel's speech or mine, that you want to walk away with a trophy, a learning, or a series of learnings that take you through this heroic journey. You're attracted to come to the meeting. You're challenged, you're testing, you're watching. You're going through this journey at every point in your life. So what we did was adopt that, and we actually script this out for every experience we're designing. Every program we're involved in, we're always looking at this. And so we attract, and then we create the touch points and the adoption through the affirmation of the attraction. So you have an emotional attraction to something, and then you have a cognitive series of tests that you go through, and then you adopt either my idea, or you adopt a product, or you adopt a new can of Coke because it looks cold and chilling, and when it is cold and refreshing, that's the affirmation. Now you're the hero, and hopefully, if it's strong enough, you evangelize. So what we found is that you can actually create a product like the trophy. So people, a new parent or a parent comes home with a new video game, a new Xbox for their children, that's the heroic journey. You buy a new car, it's the heroic journey, right? For the physician who walks in to treat a patient, it's a heroic journey. And for teachers we can all relate to, who have taught us things that we know, they are on a hero's journey. And they need to be celebrated. So it's all about this process that we adopted, standing on the shoulders of Campbell.